A world where your car runs on sunlight, where airplanes fly without burning a single drop of fossil fuel, where entire cities glow at night powered not by coal or oil, but by the clean, endless power of the sun. For decades, that vision has felt like science fiction, a dream too ambitious, too far away, or maybe even impossible. But today, inside some of the most advanced laboratories in the United States, scientists are building that future step by step, experiment by experiment, and discovery by discovery. This is the story of how sunlight is being transformed into a fuel that could change everything we know about energy, transportation, and even the survival of our planet. And once you hear what is happening right now, you'll never look at the sun the same way again. Let's be honest, we all know fossil fuels are a problem. Gasoline, diesel, coal, natural gas. These have powered humanity for more than a century, but they've also filled our skies with pollution, destabilized our climate, and created an addiction that feels almost impossible to break. Every time you fill up your car at the gas station, every time a plane takes off, every time a ship crosses the ocean, there's an invisible price we're paying. But here's the exciting twist. What if sunlight could actually replace those fuels? Not just create electricity like solar panels, but become liquid, storable, transportable fuel, something you can pump into your car, power a jet engine with, or heat an industrial furnace. That's exactly what American scientists are racing to make real. The heart of this revolution is something called green hydrogen. You may have heard that hydrogen is the most abundant element in the universe, and when you burn it, it only produces water vapor. No smoke, no carbon dioxide, no poison for our planet. It sounds like the perfect fuel. But here's the catch. Producing hydrogen has always been dirty and expensive. Traditionally, we've made hydrogen by splitting natural gas, which ironically releases huge amounts of carbon dioxide. That defeats the entire purpose. The challenge has been, how do we create hydrogen without causing more damage?
That is where sunlight steps in.
Across the USA, from California to New York, research teams are building what are called artificial leaves. Yes, you heard that right, artificial leaves. These are devices that mimic the way plants use photosynthesis. Instead of just converting sunlight into sugar, these human-made leaves use sunlight to split water into hydrogen and oxygen. Imagine a thin panel, shimmering under the sun, quietly pulling apart the molecules of water and producing clean hydrogen fuel all day long. No smoke, no pollution, just fuel from light and water. It's almost poetic. In a lab at QTech in California, scientists have been perfecting these solar reactors. They've built advanced materials that don't corrode in water, that can absorb more sunlight than any natural leaf, and that can channel the energy with almost no loss. Think of it as photosynthesis on steroids, a turbocharged way to grab sunlight and transform it into usable energy. And the numbers are starting to look real. Where once it cost hundreds of dollars to produce a tiny bit of hydrogen, today costs are falling. And with scale, with government investment, and with corporate interest growing, that cost is dropping faster than anyone expected. But that's not the only approach. Over in Colorado, the National Renewable Energy Laboratory, known as NREL, is experimenting with solar thermal reactors. Instead of using electricity from solar panels, they use concentrated sunlight, thousands of mirrors focusing beams onto a single point so hot that it can split water molecules directly. Picture a tower in the desert, surrounded by giant mirrors, with a beam of sunlight so intense it glows like a second sun. That heat cracks the water apart, leaving hydrogen gas ready to be captured and stored. It's a bold idea, almost like a science fiction power plant, but it's happening right now. Why does this matter so much? Because hydrogen is a bridge fuel. Batteries are great for cars and small devices, but what about heavy trucks that drive thousands of miles, or airplanes that need enormous energy to lift into the sky, or ships that cross entire oceans? Batteries simply can't handle that, at least not yet. But hydrogen can. Once it's captured, hydrogen can be compressed into tanks, used in fuel cells to make electricity on demand, or burned directly in engines designed for it. In fact, Boeing and Airbus are already testing hydrogen-powered planes. Automakers like Toyota and Hyundai are selling hydrogen fuel cell cars. And in ports across California, hydrogen trucks are rolling out, showing the world that clean energy doesn't have to mean weak or limited power. But let's circle back to the magic of sunlight. Why is this such a game changer? Well, think of energy like water flowing down a mountain. Fossil fuels are like a dam. We tap into them, and we get power, but we also get floods of pollution. Solar panels are like catching a little stream. great for electricity, but not always steady, and hard to store. Sunlight turned into fuel is like building a reservoir. We catch the energy of the sun when it shines, store it as hydrogen, and then use it whenever we want, day or night, rain or shine. That flexibility is what could finally unlock a future without fossil fuels. Now, here's the part that makes this even more exciting. The US Department of Energy has launched something called the hydrogen shot. It's a nationwide moonshot goal to slash the cost of clean hydrogen by 80% within this decade. The target is just $1 per kilogram of clean hydrogen. At that price, hydrogen fuel would compete directly with gasoline and diesel, and win. Imagine driving into a fueling station, filling your tank not with gas from oil drilled thousands of miles away, but with fuel created right here, from the sunlight falling on your city. That's independence. That's clean energy. That's the future America is building. Of course, challenges remain. Hydrogen is tricky to store because it's the smallest molecule in the universe. It can literally slip through tiny cracks. It requires high pressure or super cold temperatures, and building the infrastructure won't be cheap. But then again, think about the early days of electricity. In the 1800s, who could imagine a country covered in wires, power plants, and lights in every home?
And yet, here we are.
Every big shift in human energy has started as a crazy dream, faced resistance, then reshaped the world. This will be no different. And let's not forget the climate clock is ticking. 2024 and 2025 have already shown us record heat waves, fires, floods, and storms. The cost of doing nothing is far greater than the cost of building clean energy. That's why American companies, government labs, and even startups are pushing hard. Billions of dollars are being poured into research, infrastructure, and pilot projects. Across states like Texas, California, and New York, clean hydrogen hubs are being built. Giant facilities that will produce, store, and distribute hydrogen at a scale we've never seen before. And here's something that might surprise you. The military is also interested. The US Army has tested hydrogen fuel cells to power bases and vehicles in remote locations. Why? Because carrying diesel fuel across dangerous terrain is risky, but if you can make hydrogen on site with sunlight and water, you suddenly have portable, endless power. That's a game changer not just for war zones, but for disaster relief, remote communities, and space exploration. Yes, even NASA is looking at hydrogen produced by sunlight for future missions to Mars, where carrying fuel from Earth would be impossible. So the next time you see the sun rise, remember this: it's not just giving us light and warmth. It may soon be giving us the very fuel that powers our world. The idea that sunlight, the most natural and abundant energy source we have, can be turned into liquid fuel, is more than science. It's hope. Hope for cleaner cities, hope for healthier children, hope for a planet where we thrive instead of suffocate under our own pollution. And this is just the beginning. What scientists are doing today in US labs could, within the next decade, reshape industries, rebuild economies, and rewire the way we think about power. It's not about asking whether it will happen.
The real question is, how soon?
And judging by the breakthroughs we're seeing right now, the answer is, sooner than you think. Think about how strange it feels that the solution to one of the biggest problems facing humanity has been shining above us every single day, for billions of years, and we're only now beginning to tap into it in the right way. The sun doesn't send us a bill, it doesn't need pipelines, and it doesn't run out. Every single hour, enough sunlight hits Earth to power the entire planet for a year. That's not a motivational quote, that's hard physics. The problem has never been a lack of energy, it's always been how to capture it, how to store it, and how to turn it into something useful. That's why what US scientists are doing right now is so revolutionary. They're not just harnessing sunlight for electricity, they're transforming it into fuel. Fuel that can be moved, stored, traded, and burned when we need it most. Let's dive deeper into how this transformation actually works.
Imagine a glass of pure water sitting under the sun.
Inside that water are billions of H2O molecules, tiny clusters of 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atom. To the naked eye, it's just liquid, but in reality, it's a treasure chest waiting to be unlocked. If you can split those molecules apart, you get hydrogen gas, one of the most powerful energy carriers known to man. But here's the trick: breaking that bond requires energy.
You can't just wish the molecule apart. You
have to supply power to do it. Plants do this through photosynthesis, using chlorophyll to absorb sunlight and then passing electrons around like a microscopic game of hot potato until they pry water molecules apart. Scientists are copying that idea but with advanced materials, catalysts, and devices that make the process faster and more efficient. Some of the most exciting progress is happening in Boston, where MIT researchers have developed catalysts made from earth-abundant materials like cobalt and nickel. Why does that matter? Because in the past, splitting water required rare, expensive metals like platinum and iridium. That's like trying to make every car in the world but only allowing them to run on diamonds. Completely impractical. But now, thanks to clever chemistry, they're finding cheaper, more available alternatives that can handle the job. That opens the door to scaling up, moving from small laboratory setups to giant industrial plants. And here's a detail that makes the story even cooler. Some of these solar-driven hydrogen devices don't even look like machines. They look like sheets of colorful glass, floating in water, bubbling gently as sunlight hits them. It's quiet, elegant, and almost artistic. Imagine one day having lakes covered in these floating panels, silently producing fuel while birds fly overhead and fish swim below. Energy production blending seamlessly with nature. That's the vision. But it doesn't stop there. Other scientists are pushing the idea further. What if, instead of just making hydrogen, we could use sunlight to directly create fuels like ethanol, methanol, or even jet fuel? In Illinois, researchers are experimenting with solar-to-liquid fuel systems where captured hydrogen is combined with carbon dioxide pulled from the air. Yes, you heard that right. Pulling carbon out of the atmosphere and turning it back into fuel. That means not only do we stop adding more carbon pollution, but we actually recycle what's already up there, closing the loop. Imagine planes flying on fuel that was literally made from air and sunlight. That's like alchemy made real. Now, here's where things get really interesting for the USA. America has some of the best conditions in the world for solar fuel production. Wide open deserts in the southwest, strong sunlight hours, and vast coastlines for water. Picture solar fuel farms spread across Arizona and Nevada, feeding clean hydrogen into pipelines that run across the country. Instead of oil wells, we'd have sun farms. Instead of drilling deeper into the earth, we'd be reaching higher into the sky. And for rural communities, this could mean jobs, investment, and a revival of towns that have been struggling. The clean energy economy doesn't just clean the air, it builds livelihoods. But let's be real for a second. It's not all smooth sailing. There are critics who argue hydrogen is too difficult to handle. They point out that compressing and storing hydrogen is energy intensive, that pipelines need to be modified, and that fuel cells can be expensive. And yes, those challenges are real. But so were the challenges of building the first railroads, the first airplanes, and the first internet connections. When you look back at history, every single leap forward faced skeptics who said it couldn't be done. The question is not whether it's easy, it's whether it's worth it. And with the stakes this high, the answer is obvious. One of the most powerful signals that this is real came when the Biden administration announced a multi-billion-dollar investment into hydrogen hubs across the country. These hubs are designed to be regional centers where hydrogen is produced, stored, and distributed. Think of them as the refineries of the future, but instead of crude oil, they're handling clean fuel from sunlight. Texas, a state once synonymous with oil, is now positioning itself as a leader in clean hydrogen. California, always a pioneer, is building networks of hydrogen fueling stations for cars and trucks. Even states in the Midwest, known for farming, are eyeing hydrogen as the next big crop, not grown from soil, but from sunlight. And here's a thought that should excite every American: energy independence. For decades, the US has been entangled in global oil markets, sometimes at the mercy of foreign powers, price shocks, and geopolitical conflicts.
But sunlight, dette et source. Nos foreign government control the sun over Arizona.
No cartel can set the price of daylight in Nevada. By turning sunlight into fuel, America can finally write its own energy destiny, free from the volatility of oil markets. That's not just an environmental win, it's a national security win. Let's also not forget the global implications. As US scientists lead in this field, the technology can spread worldwide. Imagine developing nations in Africa, with abundant sunlight but limited fossil resources, suddenly able to power entire economies with solar fuels.
Imagine small Iceland.
Nations, threatened by rising seas, no longer dependent on expensive imported oil but producing their own fuel from the sun and seawater around them. This isn't just an American story, it's a human story. The US may be pioneering the path, but the benefits ripple across the globe. Now you might be wondering, how soon will all of this actually arrive? Are we talking centuries, decades, or just years? The honest answer: pieces of it are already here. Hydrogen fuel cell buses are running in California. Pilot plants producing solar hydrogen exist in multiple states. Companies like Plug Power are already delivering hydrogen to warehouses where forklifts run silently on clean energy. The groundwork is being laid right now. And as costs continue to drop, as scale increases, and as policies support the transition, the pace will accelerate. 10 years from now, it's entirely possible that pulling up to a hydrogen fueling station will feel as normal as stopping for gas today. And imagine the feeling when that happens. Imagine telling your kids or grandkids, "We used to burn oil in cars. We used to pollute the skies just to drive to work. But now, we run on sunlight." That's not just progress, that's legacy.